Hi everybody, this is Tim at Comic Carnival, and I am here with Jon R Osborne. He is a local author, and he has published his new book, A Reluctant Druid, and he publishes in a bunch of science fiction and fantasy worlds, and we thought we'd talk to him a little bit about what he's doing. Jon, what's it like to be an author in Indiana?
It's amazing. One of the things that I was really pleased to find out is that writers are a very helpful community. There's not, like how you see in some businesses, there's not the backbite, stuff like that. They very much believe in a
Unlike cartoonists, I
yes.
No,
They very much believe in a rising tide lifts all ships.
Okay.
So I found a lot of support from fellow authors.
That's great. And you said that we were talking earlier, and you were saying that that's how you got involved in the Four Horsemen universe, right? That it was a sort of an established thing, and that they liked your writing and they brought you in. Is that right?
Exactly. An old friend of mine actually started the Four Horsemen universe, and the first anthology, he got the publisher to agree to read one of my short stories as a submission. It was basically my audition to be an author for the publisher.
Yeah.
And the publisher told me that if my book was as good as a short story, then he'd publish my book, and that was 3 years ago, and now I have 6 books and about 10 stories out.
That's great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the books that you've written?
So my urban fantasy series, The Milesian Accord, starts with A Reluctant Druid, where the titular character has his life turned upside down when a supernatural delegation turns up on his doorstep and asks him to help bring magic back to the world.
Cool.
And as the book goes on, he finds out that he has a lot more to risk than he thought, as this tangled past collides with this supernatural destiny. The story continues in A Tempered Warrior, which was a finalist for Best Fantasy Novel at the Dragon Awards in 2018.
Oh, cool.
And concludes in A Tangled Fate.
And all 3 of those are published?
Yes, those are all out. In fact, I'm working on the book in the next series.
Okay.
So the trilogy finishes a story arc. But I'm writing more books in that world. And so I'm working on the next book right now, The House Between Worlds.
Excellent. When do we expect that to be out?
Hopefully winter.
You're not going to George R Martin this, are you?
No.
Very cool. And so tell us a little bit about the Four Horsemen universe.
So the Four Horsemen universe is really exciting. It's a huge military science fiction universe with about 18 novelists and probably a total of 50 authors. This is spread across, I believe, as of yesterday, 54 books.
Wow. As of yesterday, a new one was published yesterday?
Yes, a new one came out yesterday.
Cool.
We average about a book every 3 weeks.
Okay.
And it's only about 4 years old. And it's cool because I had a ringside seat to when it was conceived. My friend Mark pitched the series to Chris, our publisher. And the basic conceit is that 2025 aliens discover Earth.
Okay.
Turns out we don't have any cool technology. We don't have much in the way of resources, so they're kind of disappointed. But when terrorists...
Man, you should live on Earth if you think it's disappointing discovering
Yeah,
Earth.
no kidding. But terrorists attack the alien delegation. And so the guards attack the terrorists in retribution, and they find out that humans are not only good at fighting, we like to fight.
Okay.
It turns out that most aliens, they don't like to fight. They hire a handful of mercenary races to do their fighting for them. So humanity becomes the 37th mercenary race in the galaxy. War becomes our prime export. Business is good. However, not all the aliens are happy with our success. And so the universe picks up a century later in Cartwright's Cavaliers, which is the first book. And we start seeing the fallout from the aliens' ire with our success.
Okay. And you've what did you write in this universe?
So a lot of the authors in the universe specialize in either certain like races or certain mercenary units.
Oh, interesting. So if you sort of claim a unit, and now it's yours.
Yes. So my short story featured Bjorn's Berserkers.
They're in your shirt.
Yes. Need to say it's kind of a Viking themed outfit. And so my short stories were in there, and then also my novels in the universe are When the Axe Falls, An Axe to Grind, and Bjorn. The last one, Bjorn, is the newest, and it's actually a YA book.
Okay.
Because we wanted to have...
It's all ages.
Yes, exactly. We wanted to have a way for younger readers to come into the universe. And not that the other books are really salty, but, there's a little bit of mature subject matter in there.
Sure.
But,
war, that's mature subject matter.
But, Bjorn is safe. I would recommend it for, middle school and up.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, though, our adult readers really like it as well.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't, dumb the book down or anything. It's just that we don't have, there's no, It's basically PG-13.
Okay, okay, something you see on TV, basically.
Right. You
Okay.
can see it on TV.
Okay, cool. And then you also have you're writing in another universe as well, is that right?
Well, I have stories in a few other universes. There's the Fallen World, which was created by Christopher Woods. It's a post-apocalyptic universe. Universe. The basic conceit there is corporations take over the world. Don't read the newspaper too closely.
No, what a conceit.
And however, their version of corporate takeovers involves nukes.
Really?
So, a big corporate war happens, and Earth gets, pretty much knocked into a post-apocalyptic, Mad Max sort of state.
Yeah.
So the characters in there are trying to survive in this environment. However, there's a few of them that were corporate agents that this takes place in, I think, 2065. So some of them have cybernetics or nanite treatments. There's this machine that can download personas into people. So you have some of these agents with these, combat personas that are really bad. And so there's a lot of different angles in the stories.
What was your long struggle?
My long
struggle
was finishing anything.
Okay.
I was a journalism major in college. And then, of course, I'm also a gamer, mostly D&D. And, like a lot of dungeon masters, you have the thing of, well, I would like to turn my game into a story or a book or something like that. But I never finished anything. And so when Fistful of Credits, the first anthology for the Four Horsemen, came up, Mark's like, look, just write a short story. It's only 8,000 words. You can finish that. Because my problem is I would start a project and then I would lose interest and then start another project.
Yeah, they say after a certain number of pages, it's like a giant hump to keep going.
Right. And in fact, I'd started a book and then, kind of petered out working on it. And I'd been working on it for like a year and a half. And he's like, just do the short story. And so I did. The publisher liked it, and that was my audition for Chris Kennedy Publishing. And once it got published, that gave me the incentive. Then, because the publisher said, "Okay, yeah, if your book's is good, I'll print it, I'll publish it." Well, for him to publish it, I had to finish it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, who are some of your inspirations as far as writers go?
Let's see, Charles DeLint, Kevin Hearn, Neil Gaiman on the fantasy side. On the science fiction side, Robert Heinlein, a little bit Asimov, Larry Niven. In fact, I think Larry Niven may have been the first author that I read.
Oh, really?
As far as science fiction goes, and I got to meet him at the Dragon Awards, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. So you got to be what do you call it, peer?
Yeah,
right?
Well, I was definitely suffering imposter syndrome that night. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing here with these people? But yeah, Alan Dean Foster.
I love him, yeah.
Because he did a lot of, if I remember correctly, Trek novelizations.
He did, yeah. He was the big guy, the logs, right?
Yeah.
I loved his stuff. If somebody was interested in following you online and maybe buying one of your books online, what would they do?
Easiest place to find me is Amazon under Jon R Osborne.
Okay.
All my books are available through Amazon. You can find me on social media at Jon R Osborne on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also find my website at jonrosborne.com.
Very cool. And the publisher, do they have a website?
ChrisKennedyPublishing.com.
Oh, cool.
You'll find all of our books. You'll also find some background information on the Four Horsemen universe, the Salvage Title universe, the Fallen World universe.
Very cool. Well, John, thanks so much for coming in. See you guys around the comic shop.